What's up guys, London here now, I'm back bringing you this, and this is Rebooking Wrestlemania 18. Sorry about the delay about doing this, I just haven't got around to doing it until today. So yeah, before I get started, let's go through the real card. Main event for the Undisputed Championship, Triple H versus Chris Jericho, The Rock versus Hollywood Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Scott Hall, The Undertaker versus Ric Flair, Edge versus Booker T fighting over shampoo. Yes, I'm being serious. Kurt Angle versus Kane. Tag team titles, Billy and Chuck versus the Hardys versus the Dudleys versus the APA. Rob Van Dam versus William Regal for the Intercontinental title. DDP versus Christian for the European title. Goldust versus Maven for the Hardcore title. And for the women's title, Trish Stratus versus Lita versus Jazz. This is known as a disappointing WrestleMania. I don't think it's an outright awful show or anything, but God, this is definitely a WrestleMania that could have been a whole hell of a lot better. So I'm going to have a stab at rebooking it. And yeah, so here we go. This was obviously this one was from Toronto Skydome as well. Though I'd love to see WrestleMania come back to Toronto or anywhere in Canada one day, to be honest. I don't think the Skydome's there anymore, or is the Rogers Centre or something like that. It's not the Toronto Skydome anymore, I know that anyway. But yeah, let's get started. In the opening match, Rob Van Dam versus Booker T, and this is one of those situations where I didn't have anything big for either guy, so just put them together type thing, and so yeah, just throw them together and let them have a match. But don't worry though, don't fear. They won't be fighting over Japanese shampoo commercial here or anything. They'll just have a match for the hell of it. They could maybe they could cost each other the matches or something like that. I can't think of a particularly big storyline for them to go into. So yeah, just one of those matches where it gets put together. Sort of like Kurt Angle and Kane did at this show, so yeah, I would say they could have a pretty good opener. Give them about 8 to 10 minutes. No need to let it drag on too long. And yeah, just RVD, Booker T, opening match. Get the crowd warmed up into it. Two pretty over guys. Not main event guys, but just a little bit below the main event, so yeah. Should be a good match. We'll have what you call them, RVD can go over in the opening match, get the crowd happy that a babyface won the opening match. So yeah, match number 1, Rob Van Dam over Booker T. Match number 2 for the European Championship, DDP defending against William Regal, because why the hell not? So obviously for this to happen, Regal has to lose the Intercontinental title to Edge at No Way Out. So there's a spoiler, Edge is in the Intercontinental title match. And then a while later, after losing to Edge again, he can target DDP in the Intercontinental title, not the Intercontinental title, the European Championship. So yeah, Regal can go after Page in one of his matches, beat him up, hit him with the belt, that sort of thing. And then he could win a match to become the number 1 contender for the European title. Maybe against a Hurricane or Spike Dudley or someone like that. Maybe even Maven. So yeah, we get this. We could even have Paige trying to get Regal to start a yoga, because that would be just some of the reactions Regal could do to some of the crap Paige was doing at the time would be pretty amusing. So yeah, this could be match number 2. Probably wouldn't give them a lot of time, just give them a bit of time, let them have the little match, and I would have Regal go over to become the new European champion, because that's what happened about a week after this show. And then when the brand split happened, Regal went on Raw's European champion, so just let Regal win the title of WrestleMania, to be honest. Yeah. Now the third match of the night, for the tag team titles, Billy and Chuck defending against the Hardys, Dudleys and APA. Keeping the match exactly the same because I had no real issues with this one happening at all. Just don't see why this should be changed, to be honest. Let everything happen the way it did. Not that this was an awesome match or anything, it's just had no real issue with it happening, so just let it happen. And have it go exactly the same as well. So yeah, Billy and Chuck go over to retain the titles. No problem with that whatsoever. Now, one of the bigger matches of the night, and that is Chris Jericho versus Ric Flair. By that, you can probably click on the Chris Jericho is not the champion going into WrestleMania. So Jericho loses the title at No Way Out to, I'm not going to tell you who, that's a spoiler alert. You'll probably be able to figure that one out anyway, to be honest. So yeah, have the NWO come out and but Flair fighting. No, scrap that. Have Vince come out in the main event, but then Ric Flair be fighting with Vince, which causes a distraction, causing Jericho to lose. So Jericho can come out on Raw and blame Ric Flair for his loss, then threaten Ric Flair, say he's going to beat the shit out of him. Then have him challenge, if there's only one to do a challenge Ric Flair to a match at WrestleMania. Ric Flair say no because he's not a wrestler. Sort of similar to the way they did Flair and The Undertaker that year. But have it be with Jericho instead. And then have Jericho do the same things The Undertaker did, such as attack Arn Anderson, beat up David Flair, to the point where Flair finally snaps and accepts Jericho's challenge. They could have wild brawls through the crowd and shit like that. Then we get the match. Give them about 15 minutes to work with. I mean, Ric Flair had a pretty good match with The Undertaker that night. Have this a no-holds-barred match as well, because I think the match would be better that way than a straight-up wrestler match with Flair at that point in his career. So yeah, this could be a potential sleeper match, to be honest, if it happened. Give them 15 minutes to work with. Have Flair be busted up like he was. Just make Flair look like the big underdog, but make him make his little comebacks here and there. And for the finish, have a bloodied up Flair in the walls of Jericho. And then Ric Flair taps out, so Chris Jericho defeats Ric Flair. Yeah. Now next up for the Intercontinental title is Edge defending the title against Kurt Angle. I mean, you might think after being a main eventer, wrestling for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania is a bit of a come down for Kurt Angle. But he wrestled Kane on this card, so is this really any worse than Kurt having a throwaway match with Kane? I don't think so anyway. So for this one, Edge retains the Intercontinental. Edge gets the Intercontinental title back from Regal at No Way Out. And obviously Triple H goes through the whole #1 contender shenanigans with Triple H, where he won the #1 contendership and then he lost it. They can even do it where they show Kurt walking backstage and seeing Edge laugh. So Kurt thinks he's laughing at Edge. So then Kurt Angle comes out, kicks the shit out of Edge, and then says like he might not be going for the Undisputed title this year at WrestleMania, but he's going to take Edge's Intercontinental title instead. Obviously build up the friendship in the past, pretty much bring the feud that they had post WrestleMania and the brand split, just bring it forward a month. So they could have the feud going into WrestleMania. Do a lot of the same stuff. I mean, one of my favourite segments is, do you remember the one where Edge was showing Kurt Angle pictures? But then on the back they had little messages saying, I suck. It's true. Then P.S. I have no balls and shit like that. Oh, that was really amusing stuff, wasn't it? Yeah, well, I thought it was anyway. So yeah, just all that. Just having them interfere in each other's matches. Just build the feud up between them going into this WrestleMania. And obviously this is Edge's hometown WrestleMania, and I think he got shafted a little bit by getting put into a match of Booker T over bloody shampoo. Sorry to keep harping on about that, but to this day it just makes me cringe to think that Edge and Booker T once had a wrestler match over a bottle of shampoo. But anyway, yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, put these together. Give them about, because it's WrestleMania, they won't get as much time they had on later pay-per-views, so possibly about 12 minutes, maybe 14 minutes, something like that. I mean, this could be another match that could steal the show. I mean, as you saw throughout 2002, these guys had some tremendous matches. So it'd be nice to see if we could do it on the big stage of WrestleMania. Yeah, and let Kurt put Edge over as well, so Edge can retain the Intercontinental title here. I think that would be pretty cool, to be honest. I think, yeah. So Edge over Kurt Angle. This would be a great match, and Kurt didn't need to win either, so it would have been a big boost to Edge to beat Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. So Edge over Angle. Now, one of the three big matches of the night, the Outsiders, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, versus the Brothers of Destruction, The Undertaker and Kane. I know The Undertaker just turned heel at the end of 2001, so turning him back babyface so quickly might be a bit confusing, but I think it could work in this instant. So what I would do, the night after No Way Out, I'd have The Undertaker come out on television, cut a promo on Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, berating them for crawling back to the WWF after they deserted the WWF for WCW back in the day, saying, you boys, you were part of us and then you went there for money, but I stayed here, I stayed loyal to the WWF, I was here when the WWF was struggling, in its time of need, I helped, and you boys just went down there, took the money, bled that company dry and put it out of business, and now the WWE's not here. I'll be damned if you two think you're going to crawl back here and pull the same crap that you pulled down WCW. Then have like Nash and Hall come out and say, you've got it wrong, Taker. We're here to work. We're here for the boys. We're not here to steal money. We're here to work and make the WWF better. Then obviously have that turn out to be a ruse and have both Nash and Hall beat The Undertaker down on television in a 2-on-1 assault, calling The Undertaker a big dummy, saying, accusing us of taking the money. The only reason you didn't go is because WCW didn't want you. Well, you only did what any other businessmen would have done. So if you think we're in it for the crowd, fuck you. We're here to make money. We're here to make money for ourselves. Then have The Undertaker be off television for about a week to sell the beating. Then Nash and Hall be in the ring cutting a promo. The Undertaker comes out alone, puts on his gloves, slowly walks down the ring, intending to fight, and then have one of Hall and Nash go, oh, hey Kev, look at this big dummy. He thinks he can take on us again, and he goes, you don't understand, boys. I'm not alone. And then Kane runs out of the ring with The Undertaker. Undertaker and Kane clean house. Then, obviously the Brothers of Destruction are back together. So then the match is made, and then we get to the match, and I'm sure this could be a pretty decent big man team match. I'm sure it probably won't be great or anything like that, but hopefully it'll be a pretty good match. Match doesn't need to last too long. 10-12 minutes tops. Yeah. And obviously this being a streak, Undertaker and Kane have to go over, that goes without saying. So for the finish, maybe they can hit Hall for double chokeslam and get the pin. So yeah, Undertaker and Kane defending the WWF honour against the Outsiders. So yeah, Undertaker and Kane to defeat Nash and Hall. Now a match before the two main events, just a little buffer match, and that's for the women's title. Trish Stratus versus Jazz versus Lita. Keeping that match exactly the same because I had no real objections to the match. But I'd make one major difference. In a home fucking town, I would have Trish go over and win the title. Because for some peculiar reason, and I don't know why, they decided that even though it was in Toronto, a hometown, they'd have Jazz win instead. That was like, that was a real what the fuck moment. I mean, you got Trish Stratus, the most popular diva in the company, going back to her hometown of Toronto, gets a great hometown hero pop, and then she loses. That was a really dumb decision. So yeah, match is exactly the same, with one major difference, and that is Trish Stratus wins, and wins back the women's title. Now on to the big two matches of the night. First for the undisputed title, because let's face it, that should not have been the main event in real life. It's Triple H challenging Stone Cold Steve Austin. So there you go. I mean, if you want to know why I didn't book Austin versus Hogan, because I like to do realistic booking, and for one, I wanted Rock Hogan main event, and because I wouldn't take that back, and two, I know WWE actually intended to book Austin and Hogan, but Austin flat out turned it down. So for that reason as well, I'm going to book this match as well. Austin versus Triple H. I mean, obviously this would entail Austin winning the title back at No Way Out. I mean, to be honest, the Triple H and Jericho thing seemed a bit of a just didn't. It was booked awfully for a start. I mean, it was like, Triple H is feuding with Stephanie going to WrestleMania. Oh, and Jericho's the undisputed champion as well. So yeah, it was all about Triple H and Steph, and Jericho was Steph's little bitch. I'll get more into this when I talk about WrestleMania 18 on the retrospective, but the build-up, and to be honest as well, and this might not be a popular opinion, Jericho kind of seemed out of his depth as the undisputed champion as well. That's just my opinion. I just didn't really think that Jericho looked good in you know what I mean. So, and then Austin and Triple H had a lot of history as well. I mean, when they ended the feud in 2001, can't help but think they had more in them. I mean, they definitely would have feuded in summer 2001 if Triple H hadn't got injured. I like to believe that Triple H would have been the one to join the alliance, and it would have been Triple H and Stone Cold. Stone Cold being the face throughout 2001. And then, so I still think fans would be interested in seeing Triple H and Austin at WrestleMania. I mean, you go back, look at that Royal Rumble. I think when it was just Austin and Triple H in the ring together, that was the hottest part of the entire Rumble. So really, the build-up for this is just Clash of the Titans, two huge stars wanting to fight each other, see who's the better man. Obviously, Stephanie and Triple H can have the little thing on the side, but that can't overshadow the match. I don't want that to overshadow the match at all. This match has got to be about the two participants. They can cut promos at each other, saying that they need to know for sure who the better man is. Is it Austin? Is it Triple H? Not like a blood rivalry or anything, because you just have a babyface match. Have them reference the past history and stuff like that. But have this be more about two megastars in the prime of their careers, wanting to see who the better man is. So then we get to the match. Obviously for this show I'm cutting out most of these musical performances as well, to give the matches a little bit more time. So give these men about at least 20 minutes to do the thing. I know Triple H wasn't in the best of shape in 2002, and neither was Austin, but hopefully being in a title match would motivate Austin a bit more. I mean, you could tell he was thoroughly pissed off with his Scott Hall match, and he walked out the company for the first time the next night. So yeah, hopefully Austin will be a bit more motivated. Just let them have a wild brawl, let them do the thing, have the match, whatever it is. Then Triple H, pedigree, Stone Cold to go over clean to become the undisputed champion. Because I think after the Rock and Hogan, the crowd was burnt down, so the crowd didn't really care about Triple H winning the title. Obviously, with the match in this position of the card, and it being against Austin instead of Jericho, I think the crowd would have been a lot more hot for the undisputed title match than they were. That's my theory anyway. So on to the main event, Hulk Hogan versus The Rock. Leaving the match the same with one major difference. It is in fact the main event. Now, like I said before, I booked this because, yes, ideally I would have liked to have seen Hogan Austin, but you know what? I love this match and I just wouldn't take this match back at all. I really enjoyed the way this match turned out, and I've always had a thought in my mind about Hogan doing back-to-back, doing Hogan at 18, Hogan Rock at 18, Hogan Austin at 19, and then Hogan and Vince at 20, because do you remember when they were doing Hogan and Vince 20 years in the making? I just felt that slogan would have made a little bit more sense if they'd done it at the 20th WrestleMania instead, but that's just me. Probably, so yeah, build up exactly the same. Hogan comes out the night after Raw, berates the fans, Rock comes out, challenges Hogan. Then, I did think the thing with the ambulance was a bit dumb, but whatever. So yeah, don't really change the build up that much. and let the match be exactly the same as it was. I wouldn't change a single thing about this match. I know it's not a technical classic or anything, but I thought it was a really entertaining match, to be honest. So yeah, just it was about 18 minutes as well. That's a good length. And even do the post match exactly the same, with Nash and Hall beating down Hogan, Rock saving him and Hogan turning babyface, because that was definitely the way to go. I think having him in as a heel in the first place was a big mistake. So yeah, but yeah, so Rock defeats Hogan, and then Hogan turns babyface, and both men walk out together, and that ends your WrestleMania 18. So yeah, some feedback on the show would be great. I'll be doing WrestleMania 27 on later this week. Then next week it's all the Elimination Chamber reviews. Then right after Elimination Chamber, the WrestleMania retrospectives will start getting posted. I've already recorded the first couple of ones, so yeah. I'm out for now, and peace.